You ever wonder what happens when someone cheats on the wrong person? When they think they're clever, but instead, they lose everything? That's exactly what happened when my wife cheated on me, and her lover found out what it feels like to have his entire life burned to the ground. Back in the early 2000s, I had two kids, 4 and 6 at the time. Life seemed normal until my kids started talking a lot about staying at my wife's parents' house. That might not sound strange, but her parents lived an hour and a half away. And somehow they were going there 2 or 3 times a week. It didn't make sense. When I asked her about it, she denied everything. But she was never a good liar. So I started tracking the mileage on her car. She was driving an extra 400 miles every single week. That's when I knew something was going on. Then one day she left a sticky note with her AOL password next to the computer. I logged in and found emails between her and her college best friend. In them, she admitted she was sleeping with one of her old boyfriends from high school. She even made fun of his wife for gaining weight after kids. That's when I realized I needed undeniable proof. I hired a private investigator named Ron. I gave him the emails, the mileage notes, and my suspicions. He came back with everything I needed: photos, dates, times, and locations. My wife was dropping off the kids, meeting this guy for lunch, and sneaking into a cheap motel for hours before picking up the kids again. That was it. I hired a divorce lawyer. My parents cheated on each other, and the fallout destroyed my childhood. I wasn't going to let that happen to my kids, but I also wanted to know who this guy really was. Ron dug deeper. His name was Bob. He was married, had 3 kids, and worked as vice president of sales at his father-in-law's company. Suddenly, I realized just how much he had to lose. So I made my move. The same day my wife was served divorce papers at her work, Ron met with Bob's wife and handed her the full report. She deserved to know the truth. Bob's life collapsed almost instantly. His wife emptied their bank account, took the kids, and left. Her parents fired him from the family business, and since they also owned the house, he was evicted. Within weeks, he lost his marriage, his home, his job, and his dignity. Their divorce was brutal: restraining orders, police reports, and even a fight with his brother-in-law that left him with a broken nose. Eventually, Bob had run-ins with the law and ended up in jail. Last I heard, he left the state entirely. His ex-wife rebuilt her life, took over her father's company, and is doing great. Bob? He vanished. No family, no money, no reputation. As for me, I stayed civil with my ex-wife for the kids' sake, but once they grew up, I cut ties completely. I don't hate her, but she means nothing to me now except being their mom. Bob thought he could cheat on his wife with mine. Instead, I burned his entire life to the ground. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more wild revenge stories, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't yelling or fighting, it's watching karma do the work for you.